I'm Tori.
And I'm Karen.
But we just call her Mom.
And this is your comfort coming of age podcast for all the times you just need to call your mom.
Join us as we navigate life and as my mom and I grow up together. This podcast is for everyone. My mom is now your mom. And this is for when you just need to call your mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Tor.
Change of scenery.
A little bit.
You guys should watch on YouTube because then you'd see that we're at my house in Philly.
Yep.
Back on my old couch.
Yep. The comfy old couch.
The comfy old couch. I know. I love this couch. But I feel like your place matches our new aesthetic so much more. And our rebrand. Yeah, so much more. But I'm drived out from the suburbs. Like I did it so much last week. I think we did it 5 times in total.
Yeah, you had a lot of commuting last week.
Yeah, I don't know how people with jobs commute.
Ugh, it is awful.
It seriously could not be me.
I used to do that when I lived in Berwyn and commuted to Northeast Philly every day for work. Up the turnpike and back. It was 30 miles each way round trip with tolls. It was miserable.
I saw this funny TikTok. It was like, something that has not been my problem and will never be my problem is how the Easy Pass bill gets paid.
Yeah, no, that's not your problem, is it?
No, because right now I'm on your plan, and as soon as I'm not, I assume I'll be on Zach's. I don't know how it will change, but it's not going to be my problem.
How nice for you. Yeah, I'll have to pass the buck over to Zach eventually, won't I? I will have to do that.
Someday.
For your car and your golf cart.
What about oh my God, there is an Easy Pass on my golf cart.
Yeah, to get over to Avalon.
Tolls, I've never, I know. I see the $2.50 each time. I'm like, oh yeah, let me just go over for a coffee.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's such a nightmare. But how are you liking Philly?
It's good.
Okay.
It was an easy ride in today. It only took like 35 minutes to get here.
I know, I saw that.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, I hope when you leave, I think you came in at a good time, and I think you're going to leave at a good time too.
Oh, well, everything was all backed up already. Like the Schuylkill was a mess the other way. So it'll probably be a nightmare going home.
Oh, great.
Whatever. It is what it is. That's fine.
You could put on a great podcast. Perhaps let me call my mom.
I've already listened to all of our podcasts.
I know, I do too. Every time they come out, I listen.
Yeah, I'm all caught up with us.
I am too.
I'll find a new book. I finished an audiobook last week, so I'll have to find another one.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'll see what Spotify has for me.
Spotify recommends.
Yeah, I got off of Audible because I was like, I'm not paying $15 a month. Like I have enough books on my Kindle Unlimited and stuff. I'm not paying for Audible. So I just get what's expensive. Spotify. It's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, Audible's really expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you get one free one a month or whatever, plus your $15.99 subscription. I was like, no, if you're buying a book on Kindle, you should get the audiobook with it.
Yeah.
I understand they have to pay the creators to read it and all this sort of stuff. I get all that, but come on. It should be. I know there are ways to get them cheaper than your audiobook fee. If you do buy it already, you can get it cheaper than the audiobook price, but no, I disagree. It should be free.
Sorry, my eyes twitching.
That's okay.
I'm not bored. My eyes just twitching.
And there are ways you can get your Kindle to read to you, but it's in like a Siri voice.
Oh,
which just doesn't work.
Audio actors are really great because I only notice them when like an author is narrating their book because you can tell when they take breaks or when they record a different day, like their voice is different.
Yes.
And an audio actor or actress, both, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really a talent that goes undetected because they're so good at their job.
It's acting. I mean, they're really acting.
That's the problem I have with golf. Like, okay.
Wait a minute. That was quite a segue.
Okay, so golf, whenever it's on TV, they still do really bad shots.
Yes.
And I'm like, they're supposed to be the pros. They're supposed to make it look easy, and they still make it look hard. And like
they still mess up.
Yeah, and Zach and Dad will be like, well, because it's really hard. I'm like, but they should make it look easy. Like these audio actors and actresses make their job look easy because they're really good at their job.
But but golfers still mess up.
Yeah, so they make it look hard, but they're supposed to be the best in the world. I feel like the best in the world should make it look easy. Like that's why when we watch the gymnastics, or people running in the Olympics, it's like, oh, now I want to go run because they make it look easy.
Is there a sport like golf then where they just really mess up all the time?
I mean, yeah, the Phillies.
No, I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
like Olympic skiing or like the X Games or something. They do make it really look easy. They do these crazy flips and stuff, and it's like, wow, like they're so graceful. And
the Eagles make the tush push look easy, and then other teams try
they just can't
and they fail. Or like when Saquon jumped over that guy, other teams started to try to do it, and they would fall.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you can't be better than the best.
That's true.
But golf makes it look like, man, that's kind of hard.
That's funny.
And I feel like if you're the best in the world, you should make it look easy.
That's pretty funny, Tor.
Like chefs make it look so easy to cook the best omelet in the world.
They do. Very, very astute observation. Yeah, you're right. When a golfer hits it into the crowd on, what's supposed to be an easy one, and it's like, wait, you shanked that? What are you doing?
I know, and we make it look so easy to podcast because we're the best podcasters in the world.
There it is.
Speaking of the Eagles, did they win last night?
They did win. I didn't watch the whole game. I went to bed
because it was too late, right?
Of course. I mean, an 8:00, 8:20 start or whatever it was. I'm like, it's too late.
I can't even stay up for a 4:00 game.
Yeah, I can't do it. So yeah, I watched the first half. Then I was dozing off on the couch and I went to bed. Daddy was in the basement with some friends and I went to bed.
Oh, you had people over?
He invited a couple people over, and I told him, I said, be sure to let everyone know that Karen will not be joining you. This is a men's night, not a couple's night.
We went to the country club with my mom and dad the other night, and they were the most popular people there.
Hardly, but
everyone came up. We couldn't get a word in without, it was a revolving door.
We were
Hi,
interrupted.
Simone's.
Yeah, well, a lot of people. We do know a lot of people there.
You made a recipe?
I did. We were doing our third and final of our Thanksgiving recipes. We did a dessert this week. And I wasn't sure when we were going to do it because this is one we didn't want to do for our actual Thanksgiving day because you wanted actual pumpkin pie. I'm not a big pumpkin pie person myself. So we wanted to do something different as an alternative to pumpkin pie. So we made this gingerbread pumpkin trifle, which is a layered dessert with gingerbread cake, like a pumpkin mousse and whipped cream. And you kind of layer it all together in this pretty glass bowl. It's really pretty. And it's delicious, by the way. So we had a dinner party on Saturday this past week. So I thought, oh, that's a good opportunity for me to make that dessert. So that's what I did. So I made that, took pictures of it. That will be up on the Substack.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Come out. Yep.
Did everyone like it?
Yes. Not everyone ate it because we were so full. We did our pasta, our neighborhood. We do a homemade pasta night once a year where we hand roll pastas and we try all these different recipes and everything. So we hand make our pasta and we do all these traditional pasta recipes and things. And our neighbor made a pasta this time that was ridiculously delicious.
John
did. Yeah. I mean, we try new ones each time. Hi, Rook.
She's being so cuddly.
She is cuddly.
I know. She's like a life-size teddy bear.
She is. She's such a good girl. So yeah, John made this raviolo, which is like a ravioli, but it was big. It was a big ravioli, and inside was ricotta and an egg yolk in handmade pasta, and then you boil it, and it cooks the egg yolk, but it's still a runny egg. Like when you cook into it, when you cut into it, it's like a perfect runny egg with the ricotta in it and the hand rolled pasta.
Oh my God, how do you do that?
It was, I don't know, but he did them perfectly. It was this perfect runny egg. It was
You think he's been practicing?
Good. No, he said this was the maiden voyage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it turned out perfect. But it's one of those things that you can't, it's not like you can test it. Like if you cook it too long, you get this hard egg yolk in there. Wouldn't be the same. But you get the runny egg in there. It was delicious. You would have liked it, right?
Yeah,
she would have loved it. But he made a brown butter sauce to go on top of it.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
This is a bad time.
Let me see. Let me just pause this. She might have to go to the bathroom. Okay. You were talking about John's amazing pasta.
Yes, the pasta. So, yes, he did a great job. It was delicious. With the brown butter sauce on it, it was super good.
Yummy. What'd
really
you make?
Good. And Daddy and I made spaghetti carbonara. So he hand rolled all the pasta, and then we made like a fresh carbonara with like the,
Come on up.
the fresh eggs and the cheese and the old real way, the Roman way. It was good.
Is she distracting you?
No.
Hi.
But anyway, everyone was pretty full from our meal, and I made some homemade focaccia too.
Oh, you did? Did everyone love it?
Yeah, that
needs to be a recipe.
Yeah, I weighed everything instead of just measuring it. I weighed the ingredients instead, and it came out much better.
Like more fluffy?
It was still pretty dense, but it was really nice and jiggly. Like it's what you would want it to be. Like when I was going to dimple it, I had a lot more air bubbles in it. Like
That's
it was
what
good.
You want.
Yeah.
I decided that I'm going to start sourdough in the new year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'll be home more, so I can like tend to my sourdough.
Okay.
Because isn't it like a full-time job to sourdough?
I do not know. Apparently not. It feels like a full-time job.
You got home all day.
You got to feed it and you got to do all sorts of stuff to it. I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I follow on TikTok who makes like 40 loaves a day of his sourdough. He's incredible with it.
I feel like we don't eat enough bread to like we don't eat enough bread to make as much bread as sourdough requires to be made. Like, don't you have to make a loaf like every day for the starter to stay good?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know enough about it. I truly don't. But I guess it depends on how much you feed it. I mean, your starter can be tiny.
Yeah.
And then you feed it and you can split it and you give it to me.
Yeah, Luke said he'd give me a starter.
Okay.
That's who I was talking to the other day when we were at their party.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm like really excited.
Fun.
Yeah. Let me see what else. I feel like we don't have like much to talk about before. Pasta night, salama, more marriages.
Wait, what?
Oh, secret lesson more wives, more marriages. Did the Eagles win? And then Maddie just texted you right before the show started. And I was like, oh my God, that's actually like such a good point. So she has a contractor over like checking something.
Yeah,
in her
she's
house.
having the furnace serviced today.
And she texts my mom like, what do I do while they're here? Like, I just.
Yeah. Do I follow him downstairs and like hover? Or do I go upstairs and leave him completely to his own devices? Or do I be available in case he has a question? Like, what do you do?
What do you do
when a contractor's in the house? I stay available. I stay within earshot. Like, I don't disappear completely.
Right.
But I don't hover.
I think I do the same. I stay available. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm not going to help.
No.
I don't know what to do.
No.
Zach, like one time we had an Xfinity guy here and Zach was like up in there, like, you know what you're doing? And then he would do something and Zach's like, "You sure you did that right?" And it's like, oh my God, let him do his thing.
That's funny.
Yeah. What does Dad do?
Well, he's not there much. I mean, when in our younger years, it was always, I was the one home.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always up to me with I was always the one home when the contractor was there because he was always at work and I was home with the kids. So it was always a daytime adventure. So I was the one that dealt with the contractors. So now that he is home, I don't know what he does. Like if it's a guy dealing with the furnace and Daddy's office is in the basement.
Yeah.
And the furnace is in the basement.
There was an instance when there was a plumber over for the drain in the sink. What? Did the plumber make it worse?
Oh, the one in the basement?
Yeah,
you mean?
the one in the basement.
Yeah. No, that was fine. He dealt with that.
Yeah. And I
fine.
came over. I think you were in Idaho. I came over and Dad had the plumber over. And Dad was just like upstairs eating lunch.
Okay.
The plumber was downstairs. I feel like there's like an unspoken like bro code of like when it's like guys in the house. They just like let guys be guys.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to talk about the plumber with at one time when my mom was coming.
Oh.
That didn't. Yeah, that was a sore subject.
Moment.
Yeah, that was a learning moment.
There was I often feel the way that Maddie feels right now with movers, because like I'm paying you to move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do much.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to help, but I also feel like so helpless and useless
And
just
in the
standing
way.
and so in the way.
Yeah.
Standing in the corner, but like that's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Stand in the corner.
I guess.
And just like hide. I also feel like that when the cleaning ladies are over and I'm home.
Yes.
I feel like seriously the biggest loser in the world.
The cleaning people is an awkward thing. And granted, I don't do it that often. I only have them over once a month, once every 6 weeks, maybe. You know what I mean? I that's a luxury for me in between my cleanings. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to get the whole thing done at once or whatever. But with the dog and everything, and they're late. They take a few hours to do the whole house and everything. It's like, what am I going to do with Frankie for 3 hours? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go in the basement with Frankie and he and I will sit on the couch and read a book while they're upstairs or whatever. And, that's easy. Or if it's at the beach house, I'll schedule them for a day when I'm not there and just let them in. I can unlock it on my phone.
I just feel like such a loser.
But yeah, I do not like to be around.
No, me either.
When they're there.
Me either. I feel bad too.
Yeah.
Just makes me feel like I'm so lazy. I'm having other people clean my house. Like I'm so lazy. But it's so nice.
It is nice. I mean, it's very, especially if it's before a party, which kind of segues into one of the questions that we're going to talk about today. That's really nice to get the whole house done at once. Takes all of that off your plate. Like if you are entertaining for Thanksgiving, for example, or for a holiday party or something, if you can get that done with ahead of time, I highly recommend it.
Well, that's a great segue into what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to answer questions.
Yes, you guys had some good questions.
Yes, you guys submitted them on the stories, which my mom can no longer find.
Yeah, I can't find it. Apparently, I need a social media lesson. I had them all. Now I lost them.
Yeah, that's how it works with stories. They disappear.
I know, but even after the story disappeared, I could still find them, and now I can't find the questions.
I'll show you another time.
Yeah, okay.
But there was one in particular that definitely stood out to you. So why don't we start with that?
Okay.
If you want to pull it up, and
I can't pull it up.
What do you mean? Oh. Well, I thought you had like notes written down.
I did write down notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the question was, what are 10 things that you think are indispensable when you're hosting?
Yeah, so that's exactly the question. What are the 10 things you need to be able to host properly? Stoneware, utensils, etc.
Yeah.
But I want to say that we asked for these questions on our podcast, which is Let Me Call My Mom Pod.
On Instagram, you mean?
On Instagram. Is it? What did I say?
On our podcast.
Oh, I asked for them on our Instagram, which is always linked down below along with everything else where you can always find us.
Yes, all of our
stuff. Follow us to be involved in our next Q&A. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, so I took that to, since this episode will be up this Thursday, which is a week before Thanksgiving. I thought this is kind of a good topic to kind of expound upon, because some of you might be hosting for Thanksgiving. I know we are. Mm-hmm. We don't have a, excuse me, we don't have a big gathering, but we've got just, 7 of us, I guess. And we usually have a few extra people who stop by for dessert. Plus other neighbors that we always end up inviting over. So who knows who else will stop by. But for dinner, we only have 7. But we still do the whole spiel. We do, appetizers and the whole meal and dessert and drinks, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy hosting.
Yeah. And you're a great host.
And it's fun. After this too, I want to talk about a couple of the parties that we've done in the past.
Okay.
Which some of them were kind of fun. But anyway,
like in today's episode, or is a whole other episode of like hosting
we could talk about it. Well, if we have time, we'll talk about it today.
Okay, but if not, let's definitely make sure we do that as a episode in of itself, because my parents did throw like some epic parties.
Okay,
that I was never allowed to stay at. The 2 I'm thinking of, we got the boot.
Which one?
Titanic party.
That one was
hilarious. My parents threw a Titanic party.
That was great. That was the 100th anniversary of the Titanic sinking. We threw a whopper of a party. That was so good.
Okay, we also need to say, before people get mad at us, we had family that was on the Titanic.
We did.
We have lore. We have Titanic lore.
Oh yeah, we do. That has to be a whole other episode.
I know. I actually recently, because you found that ring.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Zach, and I was like, oh, this was my great grandmother's ring, who was on the Titanic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like,
Yeah.
I never told you my
lore.
that's
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have her watch.
Mm-hmm.
We have her engagement ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's stories.
There's stories there. So they threw a Titanic party.
Yeah.
And my dad's 49th birthday toga party.
The toga party.
Are the two that I'm thinking of that I got the boot for. And I just remember the house being like legit a frat house.
Yeah. And the Titanic, the Titanic party too. Like on the Titanic, the story goes that the band played on the deck of the Titanic till the boat went down kind of thing. So we hired a band to play at the party, like till the end of the night.
Really?
And do you remember the band that played?
No.
It was these two kids that we hired to play. One of them was named Matt Sermansky, and he went on to The Voice, and he was on Adam Levine's team on The Voice. Yes. But he played in our garage at our Titanic party.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
So I have pictures of him at our party playing guitar in our garage.
Oh my God, that is really funny.
And then he was on The Voice. Yeah, after that. It was really funny. But
that
anyway.
Is so fun.
So yeah, that was a great party. But anyway, I digress. Let's go back to
the hosting. Yeah, because our listener wants to know about utensils, not
what are must-haves. Yes, and this goes a little bit beyond utensils, but okay, we'll start with boring basics. Like, I think you need a nice board or tray that's good for charcuterie, appetizers. It can be used for desserts. It can be used for all sorts of things. But I mean, cheese and crackers, charcuterie, all sorts of things. A nice board is an easy presentation. It's easy to take places. It's easy to put out for yourself. I think that's essential.
Yeah.
Fun serving bowls and serving trays in a variety of sizes. I think that's essential. Thrift stores are great for that you can find stuff. And I think you're always going to want to put something out. Even if you have a neighbor coming over for a cup of coffee, like put out pistachios with, a bowl of pistachios.
Dad gives me so much shit about that when he comes over here and I don't have snacks for him.
Yeah, you put out a bowl of pistachios and a bowl for the shells, or you put out a little bowl of, grapes and something. You know what I mean? Like, it's always nice. It doesn't matter who's popping by. You don't ask. You just put something out because people will nibble something if you put it out. Yeah. That's just a nice hosting thing to do. So I think it's always nice. I love little bowls. I love having stacks of little bowls around. And that's easy to have around. And thrift stores are fun to shop for that sort of thing. Playlists and a Bluetooth speaker. Always have music on.
Always have music.
Yeah. So curate a couple little, you can find good playlists on Spotify too, but, or whatever, but curate a couple little playlists that are easy to have and just have your speaker just pop on some music. I already said this. Always put out some sort of food. And it's hard to sometimes figure out how much you want to put out. If you're serving a dinner and you're still going to put out appetizers, think of it in terms of bites. Like for example, this past weekend, we had people over for dinner. We still had appetizers out, but you really only want 3 or 4 bites per person. If you're also serving dinner. Like, you don't want people to fill up too much on an appetizer. So like, if say you're doing meatballs, for example, like, you don't need dozens of meatballs. Like, 2 meatballs per person is
the bites is
plenty.
a good.
Think of it in terms of bites per person. If you're not serving dinner, you could do 10 to 12 bites per person.
Yeah.
As as food for a party.
Yeah.
If you're not serving a meal, but just try and think of it in terms of bites. Break it down that way.
I like that.
So that's just an easy way to think of how much food to serve. Because if you serve too much food, it can be overwhelming.
But also too little of food is not good either.
No,
there's a balance.
Yes, but it's easy to have something extra in your fridge that you don't put out.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have nuts, if you have grapes, if you have, a fruit tray or veggie tray or something like that, that is easy to whip out, and if you don't use it, no big deal. You'll use it yourself. Right. But anyway, think of bites. Be prepared with an answer when guests ask what they can bring. Nothing is certainly a valid answer. If you are prepared to put everything out, you can certainly say nothing. But it's okay to ask them to bring something too. If you want to do the food and outsource the drinks, that's good too. Also, if you have no kids, but people will be bringing kids, but you don't know what to serve kids, just say, provide what you need for
that's a good idea.
For your kids to bring. If you know of special dietary restrictions, definitely mention that. Just say everything I'm providing has gluten in it, but if you need this, or I don't have anything that's vegan or vegetarian. Do you have any needs? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of find out what needs might be for the party, that kind of thing. And you can outsource specifics if you know of people that have any specific requests. Otherwise, it gets tough if you're trying to do everything. In terms of necessities, getting back to necessities, a nice pitcher or a carafe, or like a pitcher with a little dispenser.
Yeah.
A drink dispenser. Those are really easy and really useful.
And then Home Goods has like really cute cups too, that if you want like disposable ones that are nice, they have good ones.
Yeah, and it's fun. Don't worry about having everything match either. Like I love glassware, and having an eclectic selection of glassware is not a bad thing. Like you have this little glass is fun.
Yeah.
And having, fun stemware is nice. It doesn't all have to match.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't matter at all. The other thing too is cocktail napkins are really cute. Pick them up wherever you go.
Yeah.
Little gift shops.
You do that. You're really good at that. Wherever we go, you always buy cocktail napkins.
Yeah. Just grab a pack of cocktail napkins, whether you use them or whether you gift them to people when you go to someone's house.
Yeah.
Take them a pack of cocktail napkins and a dish towel.
People are also wrapping toilet paper and cocktail napkins and then putting them like behind their toilet, or just like when they stack toilet paper, so it's more decorative too.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a cute idea.
It is cute.
That's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Was that you or her?
That was me.
Oh my God.
That was my stomach. Thought it was you, Look.
Me too.
I would say, let's see, check your ice supply. Make craft ice a day ahead if you need it for cocktails. If you're doing a punch or something and you want ice that has herbs in it, or orange in it, or cranberry or thyme or whatever, like if you're doing a punch that needs some special ice, do that ahead of time.
You could also buy, Chick-fil-A sells their nugget ice.
Oh, do they sell nugget ice? Or outsource ice. If you just say to somebody, bring a bag of ice, especially for Thanksgiving, things you're not thinking of, like ice is definitely something that if you have a crowd of people, be like, oh my God, I'm definitely going to run out of ice.
Yeah.
Have somebody bring a bag of ice for sure. Paper products, cups, napkins, that sort of thing. Definitely think of that ahead of time. One thing that you just absolutely don't think of usually, but I've used mine for years. I have 2 electric chafing dishes, and I use them all the time. For parties, I use them for Thanksgiving. I use them for Christmas. I use them way more than I ever thought I would. They just plug in. They have a glass lid so you can see what's in them. Just keeps things warm. I use them all the time. I use them for Chick-fil-A nuggets if we get a nugget tray for New Year's or whatever. I use them for pasta dishes. I use them for meatballs. I use them for everything. And I store them in the basement and bring them out whenever we have people over for whatever, whether it's a football game on a Sunday or for, a fancy event or whatever. But an electric chafing dish. I think I bought them off of Amazon probably 12, 15 years ago, and I use them.
And they're still going strong?
Use them all the time. So that's pretty handy.
Invest in them.
And then my last tip that I wrote down, you might have some things to think about, is don't forget your powder room. Disposable hand towels or a second set of hand towels in there during a party are always a good idea. Extra toilet paper. Use scented tea lights in there because they'll burn themselves out after 6 or 8 hours in case you forget to check the room at the end of the night. That sort of thing. It's
also
nice.
A good smelling soap.
Yeah, a nice fancy soap in a dispenser is always nice. But that sort of thing. I mean, makes it easier to host, but don't forget the powder room.
I think that's a great tip because I definitely would.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook. And the towels, you don't want a big wet towel.
No.
And you don't want to have to check the room in the middle of your party. You won't think of it.
Right.
So stock it with extra towels ahead of time.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think you are really great at hosting. And some of the biggest things that you've left me with that I now notice whenever I go to people's houses, whether they do or don't do this, is there's always music playing. And like, you just appreciate that when you walk into someone's house, that it doesn't feel like awkward or silent. There's just always something there. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be music. Like, it could be like a game on the TV or something, but just like some background noise. And also a drink. Like, as soon as someone walks in, it's like, what can I get you to drink? Even if it's just like water, even if they don't want anything, just like make sure they're being offered something to drink.
Yeah. And there's a good way to say that too. I saw a TikTok about this and it made sense. It's not like, what would you like to drink? It's, you just offer them a choice right off the bat. You know, I have sparkling water. I have this, or I have this. What can I get you? You know what I mean? You just immediately offer them a choice. So that they don't have to feel like, oh, no, thanks. You don't make them feel like they're imposing. Just be like, you're here. I'm entertaining you. So I'm serving food and drinks. What can I get you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if there's a way to if you can set up a little self-serve area on a part of your counter or a little bar area or whatever, that's even better. To take whatever pressure you can off yourself so you don't have to wait on people. Even better. You know, put your sodas, put your mixers, whatever, over on the side, a little ice bucket with a bottle of wine in it or whatever. Just set that off to the side.
Yeah.
And then be like, here's your first drink, help yourself after that.
We were raised by the Anna Waltz side, which is my mom's side, to like enjoy hosting.
Yeah.
And like, it was always a big part of our holidays, no matter what it was, whether it was Mother's Day or Thanksgiving. Like, when we got there, we all had a drink. And
cocktails were always involved.
Yeah. And we all sat around and just looked at each other and spoke. And there was always like shrimp cocktail and just like always something. Well, hopefully that answered the question. Yeah. I think that was a great answer, Mom.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hosting's fun.
Hosting is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work though. It can be a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
It is fun. But you're very good at it. Okay. Some of the other questions. I think you'll get a kick out of this one. How to be friends with your sister when you are nothing alike.
I don't have a sister, so that one's all on you.
So my sister and I could not be more different if we tried.
Did your sister ask that question?
No. That would be funny, though. My sister and I could not be more different.
So true.
In every sense of the word. Like, we often joke, like, how did we grow up in the same house? Come from the same family?
Amazing. The same gene pool, and you guys are, I don't know where you came from.
Yeah. And I'm sure Maddie could be like, where did Tori come from? And I could say, where did Maddie come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. But I think the thing that has united Maddie and I is, number one, age. When we were younger, she was we're still so different, but she was so different to the sense that I was just like, what a loser she is. What? Look, my mom doesn't understand like how sisters talk to each other.
You're so mean.
But it's sisterly. I didn't think she was actually a loser. I just thought I was the coolest person alive.
Okay.
So I was just always looking at it from a place of like, how is she not more like me? And she was probably like, how is she not more like me? You know what I mean?
I guess.
But now that we're older, you just like get closer the older you get. So I feel like time is on our side of just like that unites us. But then on the flip side, sisters have a bond that friends will never have, where it's like you have to be my friend because you're my sister, right? So it's like we have this tie of family. And even though we don't have like a lot of stuff, let's say, to talk about, like she could call me about a truck and I'd be like, okay. And I could call her about a lipstick and she'd be like, okay. Like we don't bond over our hobbies per se, but we do share parents and like life events and just like the sisterly bond. Like there's just this unspoken like friendship rule of sisters.
Okay.
So I'm doing a bad job answering this question of like, how do you be friends with your sister when you're so different? The answer is, I don't know. I just really rely on like the fact that she's my sister, and because she's my sister, she's my friend.
And give it time.
Yeah, I just think when you are older, you just get closer with your sister.
And when did it start for you? In your early 20s?
Yeah,
like post college?
No, like when she moved, when we both were out of the house, I feel like we got closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just needed like common life experience of being independent, and then suddenly you kind of gravitated towards, oh, now we have this common experience of, yeah, we had the same childhood and now we're independent people and we can gravitate towards each other.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
This is a question for you.
Oh.
It says, since you're house hunting, what do you and your mom hope you find in your first home?
Well, are you looking for anything what's your
wish
list?
A yard for Rookie.
You need a yard. Okay.
She heard that and she goes, oh, I'm up.
Yep.
A yard for you.
You need a yard, young lady.
I would like just somewhere I don't have to move.
You want to settle in somewhere.
Yeah, that'll be really nice. Somewhere to settle in. I was against doing renovation and construction, but like now I'm for it. So whether the house has that or not, whatever.
I know. Well, the interesting thing is, even if you were to build new construction, you're still doing work on a house.
Yeah.
Like you still have to put your decorating touch on it, your paint, your colors, your curtains, you know what I mean? There's still so much personalization that needs to happen, even on a new build.
Yeah.
Like you're still picking tile and flooring and like you're still.
I know. And I'm like
doing
new
so
builds
much.
And I'm not even liking the look of new builds anymore.
Right.
They just look so thrown together right now.
Right.
Which maybe that's a phase and it'll just move on. Like everything with houses are a trend. So like maybe this trend of like these new builds in our area will just like move on to hopefully better. But I don't know. What would you want in a home for me?
No, I don't have a particular wish list for you.
Oh, I forgot a big one. An affordable mortgage payment.
Oh, well, yeah. God, I would love low interest rates for you. I really would.
Yeah, me too.
I would love for rates to come down. I would love a yard for you. I would love a good neighborhood for you. I would love sidewalks for you.
A lot of light.
Yes.
This house has no light.
I would love a nice, bright home. That's true. I would love a homey gathering space in the kitchen. I want to say open feel, but not necessarily open concept where everything is one big open space. I think that's kind of been overdone a little bit. I think you want a little bit of closed off space. I mean, I know Zach works at home, so he needs his own space. You need your own space. I want everybody to have what
their
they
own
need.
space.
Yeah. I don't know. I want you to find a place that suits you for a long time.
Me too. I just want to nest.
Yeah.
And settle.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun to, I mean, it's hard to find everything you want in a house. But I think it's fun to be able to turn something into what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the thing. It's easy to get hung up on, oh, I have to find everything all at once. It's like, you really don't. You have years to turn it into what you want.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And you realize that it doesn't have to all be there at once.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in our house for 6 years. We still haven't even painted the damn thing.
But there are paint swatches everywhere all the time.
We're still working on figuring that out.
What is your individual night routine? So like, what's yours? What's mine?
Oh, mine is boring. I don't do anything. I mean,
Well, whose is interesting, you would say?
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. A night routine really isn't interesting. Mine's very, very simple. I mean, as you can probably tell by all my wrinkles, my night routine is not all that.
So what is it?
Yeah, I
Do you want me to start?
no, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I take a quick shower.
You shower every night before bed.
I do. Just I don't wash my hair, but
A lunch lady
I
is
take
what
a
we
lunch
call it.
a lunch lady shower
Why did we start calling it that?
because we put a shower cap on and don't wash our hair. Remember the lunch ladies in the
Elementary school, right?
in elementary school would wear the
The
hairnet on.
Yeah.
So we started calling that a lunch lady shower,
Yeah.
which was where you just don't wash your hair. So yeah, we would take a lunch lady shower. Anyway, so I do that, get out of the shower, wash my face, put on my jammies, go back out into the family room, read my book, drink my tea.
What kind of tea?
Usually my routine now is I drink decaf Irish breakfast tea with a little bit of sugar-free pumpkin syrup in it. That's my night tea.
No milk?
No milk. And that's my tea at night. And then I'll read my book. And if Daddy is in the family room watching his show, I'll go upstairs and read. Or if I'm in there first with the fireplace on or something, then he'll go upstairs. Because it's just distracting. I don't like to read with his... If it's sports, I can read while sports is on TV.
Yeah, but when it's like scripted TV, it's hard.
Yeah, but if he's watching Tulsa Kings or something, I don't want to... yeah, you're right. If it's a show that needs attention, I don't want to be in there with him. So he'll go upstairs and read. And watch. And then I go to bed around 10, and that's it.
Wait, do you have an Oura ring?
Mm-mm. I do, but I don't use it anymore.
What's your chronotype?
What does that mean?
Oh, your chronotype is like what kind of person you are. Like I'm a late morning.
What does that mean?
And I don't know, but it tells you like your ideal. So my ideal bedtime is 11 to 7.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't do that. I can't even say it past like 8:30.
Okay. I'm comfortable going to bed around 10:30, and my body naturally wakes up almost to the minute at about 6:50 every morning.
And then when do you find that you're most productive in your day?
Never. No, morning. I'm most productive in the morning.
Like 10 a.m. or like right when you wake up?
No, definitely not when I.
So you're probably a late morning type as well.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Like that's a good time for me.
Yeah, because as soon as 1 o'clock hits, like we're done.
We've had that conversation before.
Because rings true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've never. Why does your Oura ring tell you your chronotype?
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have an Oura ring at home. I used it for a while, and I did not like the stress.
Yeah, you hated seeing
I hated seeing the stress thing. I mean, granted, I didn't have to look at it. I know you are not forced to look at that data. But I was like, every time I would stand up and walk across the room, it'd be like, oh, you're really stressed. I'm like, oh, for God's sake.
Maybe it's because your husband was in the room.
Ugh. It's like I'm just walking across the room. This is too much. So I don't know. I was like, I don't need to see this in my life. So I disabled it.
I normally don't look at my stress.
Got rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have it. I just don't have the subscription anymore.
Oh. My individual night routine is pretty simple as well, and also pretty boring as well. I tend to shower more in the morning. So once a certain point hits where I decide I'm not going back outside anymore, which it honestly is like 11 a.m., I will put on like comfies. But normally I always put on comfies before dinner. I just like doing that.
Okay.
So comfies on like a sweatset or something like that. I cook dinner, and Zach's normally still working, so it's just like Rook and I downstairs, and like I'll either call a friend, I'll call my mom, I'll put on a show while I'm cooking, and it's like my favorite time. It's just me in the kitchen doing my thing. Zach and I will then eat dinner together. We'll normally eat up there, like on the island together. And then when we're done, we'll sit on the couch, watch something, whether it's like a sports game. He's a big sports guy. So whether it's like a sports game, we normally don't watch like our shows down here. So we'll just put on something like light to pass time while Zach eats like dessert. He's like a big dessert guy.
Okay.
So he'll eat dessert, and then after dessert, he cleans the kitchen. Then we go upstairs. This is when I decide if I want to change from my comfies into pajamas. And if I do, great, I'll do it then. But if not, like if I feel like they're still clean, I'll wear them to bed.
Gotcha.
But if I stepped foot outside, they always
Right.
are being changed.
Right.
Okay, so change whatever. Then I will go watch a show with Zach, either in our movie room or in bed. It really just depends like how tired we are and how late it is. And then I go to bed.
Okay.
Like we finish the show sometimes and then I just go to bed. But like I can just, maybe this question for you too. Can you just roll over and go to bed, or do you have to be scrolling?
Most nights I do bring my Kindle into the bedroom and I'll read before I go to bed. I try not to scroll. I will read a little bit. And then I have a bad habit of like, I'll finish a chapter and I just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, put the damn book down. Cause I mean, I could read, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put books down. Sometimes it's all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and I'm like, what am I doing? I need to go to bed. Yeah. But I've lately had to force myself to be like, okay, you just hit a new chapter, close your book, go to bed.
I just will like turn over and go to bed. I kind of think it's like my superpower.
And we said this, I think, in last week's episode. You just like fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. I do.
And so does your father. He could say a sentence to me. I'll answer him. 30 seconds later, he's deep breathing. He's asleep. And I'm like, how is this possible?
It just is. When you're a good sleeper, you got it going on like that.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, no, that's not possible for me. The last 2 nights, I will say, I've gone to bed before him. Obviously, last night the Eagles were on. He was in the basement. I went to bed. It was probably 11:15 last night when I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there. I laid down and I was out really quick. And that was nice. Like I didn't read. The night before I didn't read either.
Wow.
Both nights I was out fast. And I didn't hear a thing when he and Frank came in. Like just out. And that's unusual. Like to not hear anything. Because he's not quiet when he goes to bed.
Dad or Frank? Yeah.
Both. It's a process. But I didn't hear a thing.
Okay. Next, let's see. Oh, this was a good one. What is one thing that you two have very different opinions on?
Oh, I saw that one. And I was trying to think of it.
Me too.
But I honestly couldn't think of anything that we have radically different opinions on.
I really couldn't either. Do you like black licorice?
I do not.
Me either. Darn.
My dad does, and I never understood that. He was the only one in our family that did.
Of course he would.
And he was the only one who was left-handed, too. I was like, see, there's a problem there. I never understood it.
Grandpa would be the kind of like black licorice.
I think he did it just to
Be
different.
Him.
Yeah, honestly, I swear. I was like, you can't actually like it. You just do that because you can.
I'm really trying to think, what do we have different opinions on?
Yeah, I don't know. You and I are pretty allied on a lot of things.
Does that mean I'm brainwashed by my mom?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think of what Maddie and I are radically different on.
There are a few things.
Are there?
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I can.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sending it to you.
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, no, I really don't think there's anything you and I like totally differ on.
Okay.
I'll keep thinking about it though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Thoughts on couple friends and new friendships throughout various stages of life?
Yeah, couple friends, as in husband and wife friends. Yeah, I thought about that too. Daddy and I have had a lot of couple friends over the years. Some that have been friends with for years, and some that have come and gone through our lives, through our marriage. And I mean, it's nice to have couple friends. I mean, that's very desirable to have couple friends. But it's not always, shall I say, equal. Like usually it rarely happens that you're both friends with both equally. Usually it's like daddy's friends with the husband, so therefore then I become friends with the wife, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it works out, but it's rarely like, oh, I am best friends with her and he's best friends with him. Do you know what I mean? Either way, it works out and it's great having couple friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is definitely handy.
I'm fairly new to the whole couple friends of it all. Zach has a big friend group, and all of his friend group is married or
coupled up.
Engaged. Yeah, like no one is single. So I came into a friend group of really only couple friends, and I have to say it's been great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I like all of the girls. I feel like I have relationships with each of the girls. Like I can text any of the girls one-on-one. And then also all of the girls have like a group chat that we can talk in. But then also when we're out as couples, like I also like hanging out with like their husbands and stuff too, because I think that they're like nice guys. And obviously they're his best friends. So for me, it's been really pleasant.
That's good.
But I will say, and this doesn't happen with who we hang out with like the most, or even our normal like couple friends. But I will say I definitely notice I don't like hanging out with couple friends when the girls only talk shit on their husband or boyfriend or fiance. I think it's important to make sure that you're with happy couples. And like, yeah, couples can be going through hard things, but I don't want to just hear about how like awful your husband is.
Yes.
You
that's
know,
well said.
You know, I think
yeah,
it's good to surround yourself with like happy couples that are in happy relationships and that want to be in a stable relationship.
Yeah, especially where you are in your relationship growth pattern right now. You know what I mean? You don't want to be around people that are not there.
Yeah, and also to that point, to take it a step further, like to be around other couples that are all like loyal and faithful.
Yeah.
Like no one is stepping out on their partner, like doing anything they shouldn't be doing. Like everyone is
good point.
Yeah. Like everyone is a good faith actor.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah. That's great. That's good.
Yeah. So I really like all of our couple friends.
That's good. Yeah, I do too. Ours are in a various, and ours have come and gone. Like, and we're honestly at the stage now. A lot of our couple friends are leaving town. Like we're at the tail
empty
end.
nester stage.
Yeah, we're the empty nesters, and a lot of them their kids have all flown and grown, and they're moving. They're moving to North Carolina. They're moving to Georgia. They're moving south. They're moving to Florida. So we're losing a lot of our couple friends. And
but you're also making new ones because you guys, my parents have moved to this new development that seems to be like the development.
Yeah, it is.
You have such a fun development,
and
and a lot of your friends are moving to where you live.
Yes. So yes, we have shifted, and that's the thing too. I want to say is that I feel like every 8 to 10 years throughout our marriage, like kind of our friends groups have shifted.
That's normal.
It is normal. I mean, and it shifts with the kids and, as the kids grow up and, you guys are in this activity and you hang with these friends and then you move on and we find new neighborhood friends. And so, yeah, your friend groups shift throughout your whole life. It's unusual to be friends with the same people for years and years and years. So it's fun for us that now, like Ken and Sue, for example, who were friends of ours I went to college with them. Didn't see them for 20 years.
Right.
And now they're
now
coming
here
back
they are.
around.
So fun.
And they live in our neighborhood now. And we see them at the beach now. And so we get to see them all year round. And that's really fun. That, 35 years ago, I knew them in college. And now they're friends of ours again.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it's fun to then, and now they have other friends also that I went to college with, but they're really close with them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, really nice to catch up with a whole new group of friends.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. That's a fun way to grow.
Yeah.
So yes, couple friends are great. And a couple of these girls are like, hey, let's start a book club. And I'm like,
yeah, that's great.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Like smoke them and how many books?
Yeah, they're like,
books they read.
They're like, how many times should we get together a year? I'm like, you guys pick, because I'm a bad person to ask, I think.
So there are still a lot of questions, but we're at an hour. So
okay.
We'll do one more, and then I'll save these two, and we can always come back to these for another episode. But I wanted to end on this one.
Okay.
How to handle disagreements with your mom.
Uh-oh.
Love mine to death, but I always feel guilty after.
Well, you used a word recently of grace.
Oh.
Grace I think is the greatest word. Like mothers and daughters have to have it. Whatever you do has to be done with grace. This relationship is never going away. We'll have it for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have to respect you. You're an adult. You have your life. I have to accept. Oh, that brings up another thing that I wrote down.
Oh,
a note of a TikTok that I saw that kind of is relevant with this, where I'm just going to interject it in here because it kind of plays on it. This guy said, the only way to live your life as an adult is to live as if your parents are dead. And that sounds kind of harsh, but it's a matter of, you can't keep living as if your parents are guiding your every decision. And that's really kind of true. And it's, yes, when you have a disagreement with your mother, you can't live in fear of, is she going to still love me, or is she going to be mad at me forever or whatever? Yeah, no, of course not.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, I'm always going to forgive you, and I'll always love you, and vice versa. You're very good at you never hold a grudge, and everything rolls off your back. You are very, very good at forgiveness. You're really good at that. Better than me. And no, seriously.
Thanks.
And you're very quick to that. When we do have a disagreement, it rolls off your back really quickly.
Well, I normally get mad in the moment, and then I have to work through my madness.
You do, but you're very quick to get over it. I'm much more Scorpio than that, and I let things fester, and I let things linger. And you're much better at letting go than I am. So you're much better.
Thanks.
So you're usually the one that would initiate any sort of forgiveness. Like if we do have a disagreement.
I always want everyone to get along. And I just think life is so much easier when everyone is happy and you don't sweat the small stuff. And I think it's important to pick and choose your battles. I've learned that a lot as I've gotten throughout my 20s. It's probably one of the biggest things I've learned is pick and choose your battles, and you just have to let people be who and how they are. And how you react to other people being themselves is completely in your control, but other people being themselves is completely out of your control. So you just have to let people be who they are.
See, you're so smart.
Thanks. It took a long time to learn that though, smart. And to apply it and really apply it and really be that's how they are. Doesn't matter. Our job is to do something in response to that, not try to control it, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. But when my mom and I fight, well, we've had a few big fights throughout the years, but then we also just have bickerings or disagreements where it feels more sisterly than mother-daughter. I'm just she's so annoying. She's really pissing me off right now. But then 5 seconds later, I call her and I'm like, how do I boil this water? Whatever, something stupid. And it just rolls off my back. But we've also had like really big fights where normally normally whenever we have fights, I call my dad and I say, "Oh my God, you have to get your wife in line. She is being such a bitch." Like, and dad is always like, "Stop, stop, stop, stop. I can't be in the middle of it. You guys got to stop." But I do. I always call my dad. I always bitch to him. And he always has your back. It's so annoying.
Well, that's nice to hear, actually. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, he always has your back. And he's like, "Yeah, you guys got to work it out." So that's good to know that your husband chooses you. Yes, but normally that's what happens. And it's always over something like stupid. Like I'm thinking about the one we fought at the watering hole.
Oh, yeah, that was a doozy.
That was because, well, I'm sure we have different reasons of why we thought that fight was because, but it started for me because my mom didn't like how I answered her question when she said, "Do you want a mojito?" And I said no, and she thought that I was being a bitch, and then it turned into us spiraling, calling each other effing bitches at the dinner table, and dad like running away.
Yeah, that was
probably our biggest fight.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, that was a really bad one. And like,
you were in a bad place and I was in a bad, we just weren't in good places, either of us personally at that moment in our lives.
We also had another big fight. Like when Stride first started, you were very, very involved with Stride. And there were times where I thought you were overstepping a lot. So then I would always have to like reel you in, and then it would cause a fight. And both of those instances, my mom would email me an apology. And that always worked really well for us because she was able to get all of her thoughts out. I was able to read them, and then we could just move on from it. And like all was good. Also, one of those apologies is when she told me that our cat died.
That's right. It was a bad day.
She was like, "I got off my meds. Skipper died." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
And both of those fights were when I was off
your meds. Yeah.
Yeah, I was off my Lexapro.
Yeah.
So that might have something to do with all this.
Maybe it does.
I'm now on it forever.
Yeah. No, so but yeah, but like obviously my mom and I bicker. Like I feel like all family relationships have bickerings and like moments where she annoys me, moments where I really annoy her, and then you just move on from it because like you just move on from it. It's just how it is, and it's no sweat off either of our backs, and it's on to the next moment.
Yeah.
But I definitely do. And I even notice this like when Zach and I get in arguments, like I'll be like upset or mad about whatever the situation is. And then we move on from it. But like I still have the lingering emotion for like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Even though I'm moved on and past it, I feel like the same way with us too. Like, yeah, I'm over it, but like I still have the emotion of the fight, but that doesn't mean I'm still like in that place or I still think that way.
Do you feel that you don't feel that you cave though?
No.
You feel like it's resolved?
Yeah, I always feel like it's resolved.
Okay.
But I also just always come from a place of like, I don't ever want to have conflict with anyone, whether it's you, dad, friends. Like when I watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or like Real Housewives and they're fighting with their friends, I'm like, who wants to be in a friendship where you fight with your friends?
Right.
Like I had this one friend and her and I would always be fighting. I'm like, this is not fun. Who wants a friendship where you're just fighting? It's not fun to fight with your friends. It's not fun to fight with anyone. But like I understand why disagreements come up. Right. But also at the same time, when there is a disagreement over, let's say like someone being right or someone being wrong, I'll just be like, okay, I'm wrong. So that the situation, even if I know I'm not, just so that the situation could be over. Because it's like, okay, to proving it to what point? Like being right at what cost? It doesn't matter. Just move on.
Right.
I just don't like conflict.
Right. No, I know you don't. And that's the thing. I know you don't like conflict a lot. And but I don't want you to feel like you cave.
No, I never feel like I cave.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. But I also approach it from a stance of like most of the time I don't care. Like pick and choose your battles is what I mean. Like if it's something really important to me, yes, I stick up for it. But most of the time I don't care enough.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
I totally do.
But to answer her question, what do we do when we get in disagreements? I just get over it.
You do. And like I was saying, you're very good at that. You're very, I don't want to say conflict avoidant. You're really good at conflict resolution that way.
Oh, thanks.
You're better than me at it. You're much better than me. You have a much healthier way of resolving things than I do.
Thanks.
You learned better than me.
Well, I learned from you, so you could do it too.
I guess.
Therapy helps too.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I should have a healthy dose of that in my life.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's also just been like relationships throughout my life where I think once you have one situation or instance that can model like almost everything in your life, it helps a lot. I can tell you more offline, but
okay.
Anyway, I guess we'll end there.
All right.
That's all.
That's it.
Catch us everywhere that's listed down below.
Yep.
Join our Substack.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.